I'm Dr. Deb Butler, and you are listening to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is episode number 452. Welcome to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. If you're a woman and you're smart and you're successful and you've been struggling with weight your whole life, and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you are ready to make this the last time you ever have to go on a diet again, then this podcast is for you. Stay tuned. Well, hello, all my dear friends all over the world. I am on episode number 452. 452 episodes. I've been talking to you every week, probably for about 6 years. And I know some of you have been listening from the beginning, and I thank you. And I'm very excited that I have some very interesting things that I want to talk to you about. It excites me when I have something interesting and something thought-provoking that I want to talk to you about. So, first of all, I want to talk to you about the exciting news, which is that the doors to Thinner Peace in Menopause, my signature group program, is opening its doors for the last time this year. And the way that I'm going to do it this year is I'm actually going to offer a 2-day course that will be opening up next week. It's a 2-day masterclass where I will teach you some of the most significant tools that you can use that I use in my Thinner Peace program. But I would love to be able to teach it to you in a couple days, some of the main points that make up the whole program. And, it may make you want to work with me longer and farther and more. Or you may get just what you need with these signature points, because the two things that I'm going to go over in this masterclass before I open the doors to my program is I want to go over the idea of why we overeat. I know I talk about that a lot, but because the holidays are here, sometimes in our brains, we just want to disconnect and say we don't care and we're not going to pay attention. And that is something that can be retrained and rewired, that thinking, that you can stay connected, mind, body, and soul through the whole holidays regarding food and anything else. And for some of you, including myself, that's not the way I did it for 30 years. I disconnected from myself and felt like I was giving myself this hall pass where I could get out of jail for free, where I could eat whatever I wanted, didn't have to be connected. I didn't think in terms of being connected. I just thought I was doing myself a favor, giving myself permission to just eat whatever I want as if that's the best thing that I could do for myself. And I really believed that for many, many years, and I know you do too. And if you're thinking that way already, because we just had Thanksgiving and now your brain is either going, uh-oh, or it's going, yippee. I want you to think about taking this master class with me where I'm going to go over some of the tools that I use all the time in my group program, but I want to give you a taste of it with my coaching for a couple of days so you can see if this is what you really want. If you've been listening to my podcast or you've seen me online and it looks interesting and some of the things that I say resonates with you and you're thinking, your brain's kind of going a little bit, then you can take this tiny step first to find out more about what's in the big program, but you can get in this small mini course, the 2 master classes, for a very inexpensive fee. And you will get tools for the holidays no matter what. You will get tools for your life no matter what. But also, I want you to think about this concept. And this is something that I've been working on myself and working on with my clients. I have a lot of clients, and I want you to think about this. I have a lot of clients that will say to me when we're going over food journals, well, it was a fuel eat, it was healthy. And then I can see with their numbers that even though it was a healthy fuel food, most fuel foods will be considered healthy by your mind. Nutritious foods for your body is how I determine a fuel food. But here's the thing. You can fuel eat and fog, or you can fuel eat and not fog. So fuel eating and not fogging means that you're eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full, and it's a healthy meal. That's what I encourage. Now, what a lot of my clients have said to me over the years, and I am sure I have said this to myself to this day, oh, well, it's healthy, and therefore I bypass my own fullness level, my own +2, because I say to myself, well, it's healthy. Now, this is what I want you to start thinking about, and I'm going to work with this in the masterclass. I'm going to work with two things. One is fuel eating and not overeating, and the concept that if you're not hungry, whatever you're eating is not healthy. I really want you to think about that thought. Because most of you, what you think is it's healthy so I can eat it no matter what. And what you mean is, well, I'm full, but there's only a few more bites, or it's healthy, or it's so good. Something comes into your mind that makes you bypass that fullness connection because your brain has this wonderful idea, well, it's healthy. Now, I think something that is easier to work on is this thought and this idea that if it's healthy and you're not hungry, you don't eat it. If it's healthy and you're hungry and you're ready to eat, there's nothing better you could do. Now, that's one concept that I want you to think about that I'll be working in this master class. The other concept is this joy eat, which is really the opposite of a fuel eat, because a joy eat is a non-nutritious food, but you enjoy it bite by bite, and you stop the minute you're through enjoying it. I want you to know with all your heart that if you're not hungry, you don't eat, period. However, that doesn't include a joy eat. Now, joy eats are very different from fuel eats when you use them mindfully. Fuel eating is to fill up your gas tank or your tummy. And I give specific numbers, and you can hear a lot of my podcasts about my number scales and how I use them. But for those of you who've been listening, we talk about eating between the twos, starting at a -2 and stopping at a +2. A joy eat isn't based on hunger. So therefore, if you wanted a joy eat and you weren't hungry, you could still eat it as long as you were enjoying it bite by bite and stopping the minute you were through enjoying it. It doesn't mean you can't eat it when you're hungry too, but I would never use a full joy eat to fill up my hunger from a -2 to a +2. But I would use some of it. I would use a little bit of it to really enjoy it bite by bite, but not when I'm really, really hungry. I wouldn't do it at a -2. I might wait till maybe I'm a lot more full than that. So what I want you to be thinking about is, how do I handle a joy eat and how do I handle a fuel eat? These are the two things that I'm going to be going over in this masterclass, 2 days of it next week. We're going to be together for 2 days, and I am going to knock your socks off with information and coach that little brain of yours to help you understand these concepts a little bit better by seeing me teach and seeing me coach. So you can see other people's brains. Watching other people's brains is very interesting. And when you can use mindfulness to watch other people and be objective, you can learn a lot about yourself too. And that's what I want to encourage you for this week is to think about, how do I want to handle the holidays? And how do I want to handle the new year? I'd love for you to go into the new year, just going into the new year with already what you need in order to get what you want when it comes to peace with your body, by starting a little bit earlier. So it's not the January 1st, these are my goals, this is what I'm going to do, which rarely lasts. But I think when we get it a little bit ahead of time, instead of saying, I'm leaving you during the holidays, your comment to yourself is, I'm sticking with you the whole time. And now, if you've heard some of my podcasts, one of the beliefs that I want you to believe and learn is to actually think I could eat whatever I want, which is what I used to want to tell myself, you can eat whatever you want, but I meant it in a way that would be disconnected from my body. Overeating, overjoy eating, over everything, because I wasn't going to pay attention until after the new year, which, if that's the way you're going to celebrate, you are going to have problems with the scale and problems with your body and problems with your own brain forever. It's a diet mentality, and you've got to find something that lasts all the time, where you know that you can be at peace with food no matter what time of year. So what better time to start? You're right, now. If you want to find out more about how to handle the holidays in a very peaceful way and still be able to eat the foods that you enjoy without overdoing anything, then this masterclass is for you. It's very inexpensive. It'll be 2 hours of your time, and you will get some wonderful information that you can use no matter what you decide after that. But I will tell you that if this resonates with you, then you have that opportunity to be able to enroll in Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond for the new year. So all you have to do is go to drdebbutler.com/secret, and you can sign up for the masterclasses for next week. And I call it the secret, but I'm telling you what the secret is. The secret is being able to stay connected no matter what, and to believe that you can eat whatever you want without disconnecting from your body, to not be afraid of joy eats, to not use joy eats to make yourself feel better, and to not eat fuel when you're not hungry. If you're not hungry, it's not healthy. I really like that. You can take that with you. And of course, I would never end this podcast without saying to you, no matter where you go or who you're with, please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye. If you're loving my podcast and you would like some more information to be able to follow along with, then please go to drdebbutler.com/change, and you can get a free copy of my companion book that goes with this podcast that I refer to in many different episodes. That is drdebbutler.com/change, CHANGE.